adrenaline rushes into my bloodstream, and it pulls me out of my maladaptive daydreaming that I often find myself slipping right back in through to run from words like future and career that petrify me and they fill me with fear. So I shrink myself down and I cower in fear, silent when you ask me where you think I'll be in the next 5 to 10 years, yeah. Because the last thing I need is ever-increasing self-awareness moving up through my ribcage and pounding on my chest. I could probably use a break, oh, maybe self-compassion. I'll probably mull this over at the next studio session. Somewhere along the line, somebody told me to write about what I know. And I thought it over and realized I don't know anything, except that this Massachusetts winter slowly drags its feet into spring, and that alcohol won't do much to calm your nerves before you start singing. Sitting here idling at the age of 25, I'm trying to dress for the weather before I have to leave the driveway. What I'd really like to know is if people will ever stop with questions about the blank expression on my face, yeah. Yeah, alright. When I don't really want to talk about it, I really wish they'd forget about it and keep moving through the aisles and calculating necessary miles for any possible tax write-offs. Yeah. And I can't wait to get back home and finally pull this mask off, yeah. Somebody told me to write about what I know, and I thought it over and realized that I don't know anything, except that this Massachusetts winter slowly drags its feet into spring, and that alcohol won't do much to calm your nerves before you start singing. And if you overthink what you want to say, you'll probably never say anything. Alright, I'm gonna tell you a little story about something. Now listen here. Recently I found myself at this upscale bar and I added some time on the meter so they wouldn't ticket my car. I looked down at the floor and I traced the lines on my hands. There were 2 opening acts before this kind of power pop punk garage band, and I watched you swear you were picking at your cuticles. There were some students dancing high and some pharmaceuticals, yeah. Alright, ooh, yeah. Well, I was completely sober except for some adrenaline rushing when I tried to tell you how much I cared about you with our bodies nearly touching. Yeah, I know I panicked and I drove out into the rain. Is this just a quarter-life crisis or am I going insane? Yeah, am I just going insane? Bed and I just stripped off all my clothes. My heels were hurting my feet and they were curling up my toes. And I just drafted a text message and I speeded the paragraphs, tried to simplify the wording and reduce it by half. Sometime the next morning it told me you needed space. So that's probably why people ask me about my blank expressionless face. This look on my face. Thank you so much, everybody.